Hello creepy people and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, today we are going to be doing the unboxing of the October 2021 horror pack unboxing. Really quickly, for those of you who maybe just stumbled upon this video and you have no idea what Horror Pack is a horror movie subscription service where every month you get 4 new DVD and or Blu-rays, and they are all horror movie genre related. You have no idea what you're gonna get. It's always a surprise, but the one thing you do know is that they are always in the horror genre, which I absolutely love. I love watching horror movies. They are some of my favorite movies to watch. I am usually always watching some type of horror movie. So today we are going to be opening up the October box, but before we open up the new movies and see what we get, I do have some reviews from the September 2021 box. So we are going to be doing the review portion, and then the second half of the video we will unbox the new movies. So last month, in the month of September, well, it's actually November that I'm filming this. Yes, I'm a little bit behind again. Life has been crazy. There's been a lot going on, so I am a little bit behind. Sorry. Yes, in the month of September, we got 4 movies. I did watch 3 of them. The only movie that I still have yet to watch from the September pack is The Tremors: A Cold Day in Hell. I still have to watch this movie, so I will probably watch this with the October movies and then give you the review on this one when we review the October movies. But the 3 movies that I want to talk about are from the September pack. The first one that I want to talk about is this movie, which is Wakewood. I was really excited about this movie. I had a lot of hopes for it. This one I gave 3 out of 5 stars. If you see me looking down, I do have notes and stuff I take every time I watch a horror pack movie, because sometimes when I do get behind, sometimes I forget certain points that I want to talk to you guys about, so I always take notes when I'm watching horror pack movies. This movie starts off with a family, a mom, dad, and they have a little girl. The dad is a veterinarian, and the mom, I'm pretty sure she's just like a stay-at-home mom. And the beginning of this movie opens up with the little girl being attacked, ended up being a fatal attack by a dog. It was a German Shepherd that attacked this little girl. Why am I not surprised? I don't typically like to breed shame, but one thing I will say is German Shepherds are evil. That's one thing that I always found interesting, is I remember for the longest time, for a great majority of my life, I always wanted to own a German Shepherd. And then once I started dog grooming and I groomed a few German Shepherds, I realized that that dog isn't always the nicest breed, unfortunately. A lot of bad owners don't know how to train. They get these big, giant, ginormous dogs and they don't know how to train them, and they become a liability. They scare the shit out of me. They're very unpredictable. They're very dangerous. German Shepherds can be a very career-ending dog, in my opinion, and I actually don't groom German Shepherds anymore because I just don't like them. So when I saw this movie and it opened up with that scene of this little girl being attacked by a German Shepherd, I was like, why am I not surprised? I'm not surprised at all. They ended up losing their little girl to this dog attack, and the parents are just absolutely beside themselves, and they end up moving to kind of get a fresh start to a little town called Wakewood. And this town kind of has a very like cult mentality. The people there are kind of strange, and the mom stumbles upon the town people getting together doing some sort of ritual where basically they were bringing back people from the dead. So the whole premise of this movie is, as long as the deceased have been gone for under a year, they can basically bring them back to life for 3 days. But if they have been deceased for over a year and they bring them back, it's basically just evil, chaotic, and destruction. Now, this movie was kind of slow and boring at some parts. It was just kind of like humdrum, like blah kind of movie. It is, I will say, very, very gory. There are a lot of scenes in this movie where I was like, ooh, oh, oh, shit. It's very bloody, it's very gory, but the parents end up bringing back their daughter for their 3-day visit, and they actually lied to the townspeople and said that she has been gone for only 11 months, when in reality the daughter has been gone for over a year. And like I just said, if the deceased have been dead for over a year and they bring them back, it's basically just evil, carnage, chaos, destruction, and that's exactly what happens. It kind of almost reminded me of Pet Sematary, where, you know, if you guys have ever seen Pet Sematary, then you kind of know the vibe that I got from this movie, but they bury people in the pet cemetery, they come back, and they're basically just evil. That's kind of the vibe I got from this. So the 3-day visit was kind of going a little bit iffy, and the townspeople were like, okay, like, you need to put her back. She needs to be put back to rest. Like, you guys lied to us, blah, blah, blah. So it is a very interesting concept. I do wish it was done a little bit better. It did have a very interesting ending, but overall, this was just an okay movie. And the next one I want to talk about is the Horror Pack limited edition that we got in September, and this one is The Last Laugh. This one I gave 2 out of 5 stars. I was really excited once it first got into it because I thought it was going to be a really good movie. This movie is basically all about a guy named Miles. He is a 30-year-old comedian who is trying to jumpstart his career, and it's not going so well. He's had a few gigs that have just kind of not gone that great. He did go through some trauma in his life that was affecting his career, which we all know, any of us who have gone through any sort of trauma know that it can have a huge impact on your life, your family, friends, career. So he's kind of going through stuff right now, but he's still trying different avenues to kind of jumpstart his career and be successful at it. Now, the one thing that really impressed me about this movie is for being a Horror Pack limited edition, the camera work was actually really good. There was really good cinematography. It was filmed really, really well. Miles, the main character and comedian in this movie, gets this opportunity to do a really big act, a really big gig, something that could be really, really good for his career. So he takes it, and it's at this like huge theater with the headliner being a really popular, famous comedian. So for him to be like the opening act was really exciting for him. And once he gets there, he just starts noticing weird things happening. People in the theater staff start disappearing. He can't find anyone. And then there is one scene where he's in his dressing room kind of getting ready for this big gig, and he finds a dead body in his dressing room, like behind one of the little curtain things. And obviously it freaked him out, and he starts trying to tell people, but people don't believe him. And what astounded me the most is that he just kind of let it go. He was just like, oh, okay. And then just like went on about his night. Like, there was a dead body in your literal dressing room. Like, I would leave personally, but no, he just keeps on, he just keeps on trucking on. He kind of just ignores the fact that there's a dead body. Obviously, he's a little shaken up and he doesn't really know what to do, but he basically just lets it go. I personally thought that the theater director lady was the killer because if you notice throughout the whole movie, she is always carrying around this like big black purse. And I thought that was kind of weird because it's like, if you work there, just leave your purse in your office. You know what I mean? Like, lock that shit up. But she is always carrying this purse. And I was convinced that that's where she kept her robe, the mask, the knife. But then if you watch the way the killer, this guy right here, if you watch the way they're killing, it has a lot of strength, a little too much strength for a woman. So I was like, maybe it's not her, but the whole movie I thought it was her. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, I cannot remember for the life of me who the actual killer is, but I guess that's a good thing because I don't want to spoil anything for you. But I can't remember if they actually reveal the killer or they don't. But what I will say is pretty much in the end, everyone dies, and it's just one of those, like, movies. So I gave this one 2 out of 5 stars because it wasn't really a realistic thing. Like, if you find a dead body in your dressing room, you're gonna do something about it. At least I hope you would. But this guy, he just kind of didn't, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on here? And the next movie, the last movie I want to talk about before we get into the new movies is this guy. And this is Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Now, I have obviously heard of this movie everywhere, literally everywhere. People always talk about this movie, and I personally have never seen it. So when we got it in the September pack, I was very excited to see it. And this one, you guys, I gave 5 out of 5 stars. This movie is absolutely hilarious. The concept is absolutely hilarious. And the killer clowns in this movie are absolutely adorable. They were so freaking funny. My favorites were, like, the clowns. I really liked Shorty. And then I also really liked the clown with, like, the big red hair. I think his name is Rudy, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I feel like their names are different and I can't remember if that was his name, but this movie was hands down all around a fantastic movie. The popcorn bazookas cracked me up. That was seriously the best weapon. I love the time era that this was filmed in. This was filmed in 1988, and it was just a perfect cult classic 80s cheesy, funny horror movie. I love everything about this movie. I will definitely be keeping this one. This one is definitely worth keeping in the collection. The one character that I literally wanted to punch in the face was Sheriff Mooney. He was such an asshole and so stupid in this movie. I'm like, you're the reason cops get a bad name. Like, you're the reason nobody likes cops. It was because there are cops like him in this world. And oh my god, he was just such an asshole. Highly recommend that you guys check this movie out if you have not seen it. I'm sure a great deal of my viewers have seen this movie, but if you haven't, definitely worth the watch. Okay, so those were all of the reviews from the September movies. Like I said, I do still have to watch this one, so I will add this one to the October movies and report back to you guys for the November pack what I thought of that one. So now, without further ado, let's open up the October movies and see what we get. Now, of course, Halloween is in October. The whole entire month of October is spooky season, so I'm really hoping we're going to get some good movies. I feel like October is the month for Horror Pack to really kind of shine and add some really good movies in here. So we're going to open this bad lad up. Ow, ow, I think I sprained my finger. Fuck. Okay, and as you can... Oh, all right, and as you can see, we have 4 new Blu-rays in here. 4 movies I've never seen. I have no idea what they are. I'm really excited. The one thing I will say about Horror Pack is you always get one movie that is a Horror Pack limited edition, and those can be very hit or miss. Sometimes they're really good and sometimes they're really bad. And I personally always get the Blu-ray box because I have more DVDs than I do Blu-rays, so I'm kind of trying to build up my Blu-ray collection. But if you want to go the DVD route or the Blu-ray route or both, you can totally do that. I will have a link to Horror Pack's site right at the top of the description box, so if you guys want to click on it, it's not an affiliate link. I'm not making money off of your clicks. It's just a link for you guys to check out the site and see if it is something that you want to try. Without further ado, let's start. I think I'm going to start from the second to the bottom here. And the first movie we got for October 2021 is... Ta-da! Okay, so the first one we pulled out is the Horror Pack Limited Edition, like I just talked to you guys about. And this one is called Why, which... that's kind of a cool name. Very simple, straight to the point. Why? That's great. So on the back it says, writer Blake Sinclair picked the wrong weekend to get away. Isolated at a remote cabin, she soon finds herself in a fight for her life against a bloodthirsty maniac who has left multiple victims in his wake as he kills his way through the mountain town of Northdale. Okay, so I love the way this sounds. I think the concept of this sounds really interesting and really creepy. You know, being in an isolated cabin somewhere, not knowing who's out in the woods, and then, you know, bad stuff happening. Kind of like Hush. Have you guys ever seen that movie? Oh my god, great movie. This was made in 2020. It is about 78 minutes long, so just under an hour and a half. I have a lot of hopes for this one. I think this one is going to be really good because I just love concepts like that. Even though there has literally been 1,000,001 movies made with this similar concept, I think it's going to be really good. So, yeah. There is the first one, Why, and it looks like we have a killer in a hood with an axe, and we have a creepy little cabin down here. So, I mean, yeah, I'm excited about this one. So far, I think we're off to a good start. Okay, the next movie is I'm going to take the one off of the very top. The second movie that we got for October 2021 is, Night Stalker. From the director of The Boogeyman. So is this like a Richard Ramirez type movie? I am interested. Okay, so this is a movie based off of Richard Ramirez, otherwise known as The Night Stalker. If you guys have watched that documentary all about it on Netflix, so creepy. This guy was seriously disturbed. This movie is rated R. Obviously, it was made in 2009. It is 85 minutes long, so again, about an hour and a half. And on the back it says, inspired by the true story of the most publicized and deranged serial killer known to everyone as the Night Stalker, he stalked and killed relentlessly, keeping the cities of San Francisco and Los Angeles terrified. So I'm actually really excited to see this. I am a huge serial killer lover. I mean, when I say that, I don't like idolize serial killers. I'm not one of those. but I do find them interesting. I find the stories interesting, even though they are disturbing. I love, you know, learning as much as I can about serial killers. I just think it's very interesting to know, like, what their motive was and where they came from and why they do what they do. So I think it's cool that we have a movie based off of Richard Ramirez. If you guys have ever seen this movie, let me know. This was made in 2009, so it is about 13-ish years old. So I'm sure some of you have seen this. Let me know what you think of it. All right, guys, halfway done. We have 2 movies left. I'm going to take the one off of the very bottom again. And the third movie for October 2021 is... Okay. What the hell? This one is called Psycho Gorman. A Raven Banner releasing picture presents Psycho Gorman. Little girl, big psycho. What the fuck is this? Hilarious gutbuster in every sense of the term. Okay. The complete package, the kind of genre cinema that we dream of. Is that so? Here is the next movie we got. Here's what this one looks like. It looks like we have like a demon of some sort. We have some kids. We have like a flaming tree looking thing. We have a walking brain down here. Wow, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. This is a lot to process. So this movie is 83 minutes. It was made in 2020. And on the back it says, 2 precocious siblings, Mimi and Luke, unwittingly resurrect a wicked alien overlord who was entombed on Earth millions of years ago for attempting to destroy the universe. They nickname the evil creature Psycho Gorman, or PG for short, and use a spellbinding amulet they discover to force him to obey their childish whims. It isn't long before PG's reappearance draws the attention of intergalactic friends and foes. Okay, so this movie seems like it's gonna be kind of like a sci-fi horror comedy kids movie. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this movie. I mean, I'll watch it, of course, for you guys and let you know how it is. It does say it was made in Canada. That's pretty cool. What's up, Canadians? How's it going? I don't know. This looks a little weird. I don't know. Usually not something I would watch, but I mean, he looks pretty creepy. Like, if you can see that, he looks like a pretty creepy demon, so I don't know. I'm about it. What the fuck is this? Alrighty, guys, we have 1 movie left in here, and the very last movie that we got for the October 2021 horror pack is... Ta-da! Oh, okay, so we actually have a triple feature. Horror Volume 2. So it's one of those movies where you get 1 pack and inside you get 3 different movies. So we have Scar, we have Terror Trap, which Michael Madsen's in this one. That's pretty cool. And Midnight Movie, The New Fall of Horror. So I have 3 movies to watch instead of 1, which is I need to get on this shit. So the first movie, Scar, it says, in Scar, Joan escapes a local undertaker who mutilates and tortures teenage girls. Sir? Not okay. Upon her return to the town 16 years later, a copycat emerges and all clues lead back to mentally fragile Joan. Okay, so this one is about 84 minutes long. Made in 2007, not rated. The next movie, which is Terror Trap, this one says, follow Don and Nancy, stranded travelers who must stay in a nearby motel waiting for their car to be repaired. Okay, I already like the way this is sounding. I love shit like that. Their typical night turns horrific as they must fight to survive or be the next victims of the Terror Trap. So that actually sounds really good. This one, it was made in 2009. It is 94 minutes long. The next movie is Midnight Movie. And on the back it says, in Midnight Movie, a midnight showing of an early 1970s horror movie turns to chaos when the killer from the movie emerges out of the film to attack those in the theater. Oh my gosh. The Ring, anybody? The Ring, Samara. This was made in 2008, 84 minutes long. Okay, so out of all of these, I'm gonna have to say I'm most excited to see Terror Trap and Midnight Movie and then Scar. I don't know how I'm going to feel about Scar because I hope there isn't, you know, too many graphic scenes in there. Alrighty guys, and those are all of the movies that we got for the October 2021 Horror Pack unboxing. Overall, I think this is a pretty okay box. I'm really happy with the movies we got. I think the one that I'm most excited to see is obviously Night Stalker, and then probably the Horror Pack Limited Edition, the 3-in-1 movies, and then Psycho Gorman. So those are kind of the order that I'm probably going to watch these in. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you've seen any of these, I would love to know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video and you want to continue to see Horror Pack unboxings on my channel, make sure you go down and give it a huge thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are new to my channel, I would absolutely love it down deep in my heart if you would subscribe. Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. I do upload every 3 to 4 days here. But as the rest of you, I love you guys so much, and I will see you very soon in my next video. And remember to stay creepy. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.